Hey, we are live. Stop acting like that.
Mama.
Hey, everybody. In a few, actually at a studio here in Philadelphia, and I'm going to be a special guest on a radio show called the Romans 12:2. How you doing?
You guys being home?
Yes, I'm waiting for Lavon upstairs doing the radio show. That's correct. Yes. Thank you. Well, we'll be going upstairs shortly for the radio show. I'm excited about. So it's in works now, but I wanted y'all to experience this with me, so that's why I'm coming on now. So he gonna be coming to get me shortly or whatever, and I'm kind of happy about it. So I want y'all to be happy with me and experience all of this. So how y'all doing today? Tell me how everybody's doing. I haven't had the opportunity to talk to people. Hey, Cherie. Hey.
Who that?
Shamir.
Who?
My buddy, who birthday?
Oh.
Ah.
Is that
Super Dave office. It's a 308 64th 64th, right?
I don't know.
308 North 64th Street near Haverford, something like that. Is that, you know where I'm at?
Oh yeah, don't you live in
A
Philly?
super realtor office or something. I don't see nothing about Dave though. Super Realty Group. So that's where I'm at right now.
Katrina,
Yes,
come on.
yes, sir. Here we come. Y'all, it's happening. Y'all, it's happening. Oh my God, I'm so excited. You want to hold the?
Oh no, what happened?
See, broke it.
I ain't break nothing. Alright. I look a hot mess. Ooh, Jesus. Ooh. See, ain't that many stairs. You talk about stairs. Ooh, this is nice. This is nice.
Ooh,
Nice.
fancy. All right.
Yes. You can close the door too.
So happy to be here.
It's not that way you wait, bro.
What happened? Oh, it's not closing.
There you go.
I am excited to be here. So you do this every week, every Saturday.
For the past 2+ years.
Wow.
I know, something that I didn't expect, but God told me to do something, you do it. So I felt like God told me to use your voice.
I'm so proud of you. Like we this is our first time actually connecting.
Yeah, in person, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get in person, live in person, so. Oh man, wrong way. Oh, shoot.
I'm so proud of you though. This is awesome. And thank you for the invitation.
Yes.
Oh, can we have these?
Yeah, go ahead.
We was scrambling in the car because we was trying to find it, and when we went grocery shopping, she left them in the house.
Oh man.
And so I was like, "We ain't got nothing in here, nothing." I was like, "They ain't gonna let us in."
Oh All right, welcome back to the Long Troll to Experience Radio Show live here for Out Radio. My guest is here. She's a comedian, an author. That's a game changer for people in the community. This is going to be crazy. Thank you for not sticking. All right, so the cover sticks. All right, so this is Miss Kadrina Mack. How are you today?
Oh, blessed.
Yes, well,
Blessed.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. So, I want to ask you a couple of questions before we get into a conversation about your thoughts on Breonna Taylor's situation happened 2 weeks ago, where the officers were not charged for her murder, and also a state of our country based on the debate on Tuesday, and a lot of people feeling so traumatized and more uneasy about who to decide for in November. So I wanted to know, as a black woman, what's your thoughts about that? So about both fronts.
Yeah. So let's start with the Breonna Taylor situation. I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised. Okay, that's my feeling.
Right.
However, I trust God.
Yes.
I trust God, and it's like, we can't live our life in rage. We can't live our life mad at the world, mad at every white person that we see, you know, things of that, because I got to work with these white people at the same time.
Right, but it's not every white person.
You're right, it's not every white person, but the way you feel,
right.
It feels like soon as you see one, they the closest thing to you. So you like, I'm going to take my rage out on you. You know what I'm saying? So no, I don't feel like, but I feel like vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. And I just keep reiterating that scripture. You know, I believe it's Romans 12:19.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Vengeance is mine. And God will do far worse than anything that I could ever put together or anything that I could even conceive or think. And so I just trust God. Trust God. Treat people how you want to be treated. It's not fair. Life is not fair. Fair is what you use to ride the bus, okay? But you live your life. And I just believe that changes have already been made, though. Right. See, we can't act like nothing happened from this situation. First of all, her family did get millions of dollars, which is not going to bring her back. You know what I mean? It doesn't.
A lot of people get that too. Like, why you take this money for? You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? It doesn't.
Continue to fight.
Yeah. So it doesn't negate the fact that she's gone. I'm not saying that, but they got that. We're getting rules changed. We're bringing awareness to this situation now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, Breonna Taylor is not the only person who has died because of this situation. Right. What about those families? What about those families who they didn't get this national attention. Right. And at the end of the day, their families had to still go on and grieve and you know what I mean? They want justice for their family too. Right. So, I mean, absolutely. You know, Breonna just so happened to be the one who was used at the time, where now they know we're not playing. Laws are being changed, policies are being changed, and things of that. So I'm not surprised that the officers weren't charged, because they definitely should have been. I know they're going after that attorney general right now. They're going after him heavy. Yeah. Okay, but God will get the glory at the end of the day.
Amen.
That's what I believe.
That's the truth. That's the gospel truth. Yep. So what's your thoughts about the debate?
So I didn't watch the debate.
Oh, you
okay, but
you won.
But because I just knew it was gonna be foolishness. Okay, because I don't trust anything that Trump says out of his mouth. You know what I mean? He could say water is good for you, and even though I know it's true, I don't believe it from him. Right. You know? Right. So, yeah, the Trump. I knew it was gonna be foolishness at the end of the day, right? But it's like picking. I just feel like we choosing like we in hell, okay?
Right.
But
and I said this. I said that like we in trouble anyway.
Yeah.
Either way, we in trouble because like, you know, and like I'm not sure about Biden either because of his past and what he said about us before,
like,
you know, because like it was a dream. I was not going to watch it. It been then I saw the post. I was like, I got to tune in. I got to see half an hour because I was watching baseball, but it was a blowout. So like, Saturday night I was watching. I was like, oh man. Then the game I wanted to watch ended. By the time it started, I was like, man, it was just like a lot going on. It was like draining. It was like, oh man. It's like now people are more discouraged. I'm like, okay,
you know,
like,
it's like choosing the lesser of two evils,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
Now, what I do understand is like, Trump is embarrassing. He's embarrassing to the nation.
Right.
He's embarrassing. Like, other countries are laughing at us right now. You know what I mean? So at least, even when you're trying to fix your credit score, there's a process. It takes time. So it's not going to happen overnight. But I feel like if we start with Biden, because he's the only choice that we have right now to get ourselves out of this black hole, right? Let's start with Biden, and then from there, let's continue to go up.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Right.
So let's just start with there. Let's just try to get ourselves out of the black hole and to be taken seriously again.
Right.
And I feel like we have more of a shot with that going with Biden than we do with Trump.
Right.
So I'm trying to encourage people to go and vote because people are like, I ain't voting, this is mess. Well, if you don't vote, then you actually have voted. You have voted for Trump.
Right.
Okay, so to not vote is to give the other team your vote. So that's why it's imperative. And the other side is expecting you not to vote. They already know our numbers, our statistics, our data. We get so lackadaisical and stuff. We're like, oh, I ain't doing that mess. That's crazy. Whatever. No, make sure you're registered. Make sure if you have any child over 18, you make sure they get their butt registered. And you make sure everyone in your household votes. Right. So that's how I feel about the situation.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's very a lot. Plus, make sure people do the census too.
To do the census as well.
Yeah, not forget about that too.
And you can do it online, or otherwise, them mugs gonna be knocking on your door like a bill collector. So they gonna be like, did you fill out the census?
Right. Yeah. I just hope the ground turnout will be better for them 4 years ago because they did the same thing 4 years ago with all this promotion, but a lot of people didn't turn out to vote because the campaign was so toxic and so toxic with a lot of people, and like they were drained from it. They were just drained, you know. But if whoever wins, we got work to do. We got to continue to work. We're going to keep the reigning justice, keep waiting for changes because at the end of the day, it's not about who's at the White House. It's about who we stand for. God, you know, God is at the end of the day. God is God is going to be the person that we're going to serve, not the president. You know. So so it's very, very important that we be aware of the constantly what's going on. So I hope the vice president debate or Wednesday will be a little better, a little more mature than the last one. So but who knows? But you know, there's so much going on. But so I want to get to you first. I want to know who is KaDreena
Kadrina, I am a mom first.
Right.
You know, child of God, of course. I'm an entrepreneur with my own business, and I'm a stand-up comedian, an award-winning stand-up comedian. Amen. Right. Amen. So God has been good. I mean, I think I'm regular. I'm a regular girl. I like to have fun. I'm crazy. That's, you know. Right. I like to have a good time anywhere that I go, and I like peace. Yeah. I'm drama free. I don't do drama.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's beneath me. So that's who I am. I'm just real chill, and I like to have fun.
Right. So what was your upbringing like growing up?
Definitely been in church my whole life.
Okay.
My whole life. My mom is an evangelist, so she actually was singing and doing concerts in our area. I'm from Florida.
Oh wow! Where in Florida?
Sanford, where Trayvon got shot.
Oh wow!
Right, so that's my area, and then we moved to South Jersey. So shout out to my Mack family. You know. Bridgeton, Vineland, Millville, South Jersey area is where my family is at. And so my mom, we went to this church called Crusaders for Christ. I think there's one here in Philadelphia too, Pastor Malone, rest in peace. And there was one in Bridgeton, New Jersey. So we went to Crusaders for Christ. And my mom used to lead praise and worship, and she used to do concerts and stuff. And I used to be in the front just watching her, you know, and she used to preach as well, go to different churches and preach. So yeah, I grew up on, wasn't allowed to listen to secular music, only allowed to listen to Shirley Caesar. That was it. Like, and any other music besides Shirley Caesar, my mom calls blues. You know, so don't be listening to that blues. Like, you know, so yeah, very strict household, but we served the Lord. And I got saved when I was like 9 years old. That's when I, you know, accepted Christ into my life, and been going strong ever since.
Glory.
Yeah. And so other than that, what else?
So I want to ask you now, so now you say you're an entrepreneur, you're an author, you're a comedian.
Yeah.
So how, I don't know what's came first, entrepreneurship or the comedian part. So which one came first for you, the entrepreneur part?
Yeah, I would say the entrepreneur part came first, but it all came out of having my back against the wall.
Okay, explain that.
So I was working for a financial institution for 12 years and lost my job, got laid off. That I was at that job since I was 17 years old. So that's all I knew.
Right?
That's all I knew. I didn't know. And they treated you so good. So when we got laid off, I was like, what am I going to do? I didn't finish school. I didn't finish college. I'm like made it to like my junior year at University of Delaware because I had got into the management track. And I was making such good money. I said, people go to school to make this money. Right. So, you know, why I didn't want that extra stress. So I just kept, you know, working and building my career within the company. Within the company, I had the time. I had the seniority. But outside of the company, when you put me with the regular folks, I was behind. So by the time I got laid off and got put into the fishbowl with everybody else, all my friends is out with their bachelor's and their master's degrees, and here's me just with my high school diploma.
Right.
But the one thing that I did have was experience, and experience has carried me so far. So after being laid off, I was like, what am I going to do? And God placed into my spirit, he said, why don't you do what you've already been doing for free all these years? So even while I was working, I was traveling and singing background with different groups. But I was always helping with the administration for those groups. Like when they got booked, doing all the contracts, helping on the back end. Well, a lot of music artists don't like to do that type of stuff. They just like to perform and go ahead on. So he was like, you know, people will need that help. So I created my business, KMack Management and Administrative Services. And what we do is we do admin services for music artists. You know, help you. I don't go and book the gigs for you, but I will take the calls for the gigs that you get, send the contracts out, and get everything together before you go to the gig. And so I had about 12 clients at the time, because I didn't think it was going to be successful. When I started putting the word out there, I mean, it just blew up like wildfire. And when I started the business, then I linked up with Shannon Lally, who was managing Thomas Clay at the time. And he asked me to do the door for the tickets at Warm Daddy's for Thomas Clay's show. And when I was doing just accepting the tickets and the money at the door, I met a man named Lynn Brown, who was already running different type of shows at Warm Daddy's, but he needed some help with gospel shows. So I started working with Lynn, and I ran shows at Warm Daddy's for 5 years called Gospel Mondays.
Oh, okay.
So that was me. And so that was successful, very successful. And then I had to go back to the work field. But with my experience and stuff, it got me far. I had to go through that season. At the same time that I was going through all of that, I got asked to be a special guest at my girlfriend was a youth pastor at her church and did a comedy show.
Okay.
She said, Kadrina, you're funny. Can you just give me like 5 or 10 minutes?
Okay.
And I said, I'm not a comedian though.
Okay.
I'm not a comedian. Yeah. And she was like, no, but if you just get up there and start talking, I promise you, like da da da. So she wouldn't let it go. Right. So shout out to Chanel Seibert. So I did her show, and my first time on stage is actually on YouTube.
Okay.
Right, 2010.
Wow, 10 years. Wow.
Yeah, I've been doing comedy for 10 years now. I didn't think it would last this long. I never had a goal or aspiration to be a comedian. It came out of the blue. It really did. But when God has a purpose for your life,
right,
you kind of have to go with it. So when I did that show, people was asking me like, can you come to my church? Give me your information. And I didn't know it was all happening so fast and all at one time. But trial and error, and 10 years later, we still going strong.
Wow.
And I'm doing comedy, and even my family was like, it makes sense though. It makes sense because you crazy. You've been like that your whole life. Like, I always loved jokes. I always loved being in front of people. So it just kind of made sense. But I can't explain it, but it was just God's will. Me to have my business doing good. Me to do comedy. My daughter's my manager.
Right.
She's my comedy, so she travels with me everywhere. And so God did it.
Go back to God. Just trust Him. Even though you didn't know for yourself.
Yeah.
God said, trust me. And He was showing you, He was giving you the Jones, this thing, and just be yourself. Because the best comedians are themselves. And not no one to try to be funny. It's just naturally funny. Just be themselves.
I try. I mean, my daughter swears I'm the corniest person in the world. You know what I mean? But you know who's actually funny? My mom. My mom is hilarious. Like, and my family, I'm the corniest one, honestly.
Oh, wow.
People think I'm KMack, you good on stage. But if I just sit you with my family for like 10 minutes, you just be like, oh my God, this is where you get it from. It's just in us. It's just in us. So we have a good time though.
Yeah, that's good. So we really backtrack a couple things.
Okay.
You went to Delaware your junior year. Or you left your junior year because the money was good with your job. Did you ever go back to Delaware to finish?
I have not. And actually what made me stop was because my mom got sick.
Okay.
My mom got sick, and I was actually in school part-time, and I was working part-time as well. So I was doing both. Then when my mom got sick, her insurance company didn't have enough. It only covered her operation. It didn't cover her recovery time. And I was living at home at the time, and that was the only source of really income we had in the house. So because I had already been at the company for 5+ years, they instantly let me, they moved me to full-time, right? They let me take FMLA for 6 weeks to take care of my mom, but I got paid at 100% full time, right? So I was so grateful for that because I was able to supply the income we needed. And even though I was part-time at the time, I made more than my mom. So when they moved me to full-time, we had more than enough money to pay the bills of the house. So I took care of my mom for 6 weeks, and then I went to work full-time.
Okay.
Right? And that's what really made the decision for me to stop, because me trying to do full-time work and full-time school wasn't working. People do it all the time. Yes, I'm not knocking that. But the job that I was in was really demanding. Mentally, I was exhausted by the time I got home. And I didn't even have enough strength to write another paper, read, nothing. I just wanted to come home and relax or whatever. So that was my decision when I decided to take a semester off. Then it turned into another semester. Then it turned into another semester. So I was like, oh. But I have 79 credits with University of Delaware. I do want to go back and finish and maybe transfer. I would like maybe like Wilmington University or something like that. So it is on my bucket list to do, because I value education. I, tell my daughter all the time, but I would like to be that example.
Yes.
So, when I do finish, I'll let you know so we can celebrate.
Yes. So you say you did your management for artists. Do we know any artists that you manage that are kind of big now that you work with?
So let me explain the difference. I did administrative services for artists and not necessarily manage them, but yes. So some of my first artists that I had worked with, my first clients was when I was working with Lynn Brown. Lynn was a manager. So he managed Spanky, the drummer, George McCurdy.
Yes.
So Spanky was one of my first clients, as well as Lynn also managed Electric Kid, which was Ty Trippett's brother, Terry Trippett, Paris Bowings, and Spanky McCurdy. So they formed their own group called Electric Kid, and I was doing the administrative services for them. Then another blessing was when I was singing, I used to sing with this group called True Vine. Right, back in the day, we were signed with In Time Productions, who was owned by Eric Green. Everybody knows him as Boots, and he was the drummer for Wiz Khalifa and for Jay-Z and stuff like that. So we were signed to their label. So Eric Green was actually one of my clients when he was playing for Lady Gaga. No, Spanky was playing for Lady Gaga. One of them. I was helping. I was on the back end. Eric Green played for Nerd and all that stuff. But I was helping with his schedule. He was one of my clients for a while. And then a lot of local artists around Delaware and Philadelphia, because I really wanted to give the local artists the opportunity where they looked professional in front of their clients. So it's a difference from you accepting your own gigs than you having representation and you having to call somebody and you have everything in order. So I gave that professional touch from the beginning and did everything for you and said, we thank you for this opportunity. Here's the contract. You can send a deposit here, because people take it a little bit more seriously when they have to send a deposit. So it's I had 12 amazing clients. Like it was beautiful. So God gave me that. That was the truth right there.
So now you are an author. So when you decided to come author.
So that was another opportunity that kind of fell on my lap. Because I haven't wrote a full book to myself, but I was one out of 6 authors for this particular opportunity, which the vision came from comedian Tanya Lewis from Maryland or DC. I think she's around from that area. So her vision was, the book is called Behind the Mask, Behind the Laughs. So the vision is to take for comedians to share their heart. It's like when we get in front of you on stage, it's not always funny for us. We're making you laugh, but behind the scenes, we're going through hell. You see what I mean? So this is our opportunity to speak our truth and to tell what's going on behind the scenes. Behind here, I'm making you laugh, got the mask on, but when that mask comes off, this is what I'm dealing with. This is my real life. This is my truth. Because you have no idea how hard it is, to make other people laugh when you don't feel like laughing.
Right, exactly.
How do you do that? It's nothing but God He has to give you that strength.
Yes, he does.
You see what I mean? And it really is a ministry aspect. How can you become selfless, but then you think about all the people in front of you and you be like, I don't have joy, but I want you to have joy.
Right.
That's hard. So you have to call on Jesus in order to move forward with that. Because there's days I felt like crying on the inside. There's days I didn't even feel like getting out of bed. I would be depressed, not Well, I can't say I didn't eat because you know I'm going to eat. I'm always going to eat, so I ain't going to say that. But you know, you get depressed and stuff, but you're contracted to do this show.
That's right.
So you have to do your job.
Mm-hmm.
So, but how do you do that? How do you do that? How can I sit there with a smile on your face and make you laugh and then I feel dead on the inside?
Right.
So that's what the book is about. Comedians being transparent and honest with you and letting you know what's going on behind the scenes. And I think because it's important to know. People just see you on the stage and they put you on this little pedestal and they think that everything is just, oh, their life is good. They ain't going through nothing. And that's not the case. Most of the people who is in a leadership position or in a position on stage in front of people, they're the ones who's being triggered the most. Mm-hmm. They're the one going through hell. Yeah. But then you still got to be up there and go before the people. I still got to enter in for you when I need to enter in. I think about like all the praise and worship leaders out there. You know what I mean? I got to help you and hype you up to enter in God's presence. You know what I mean? No. We should be on one accord. Like the people should come into the church already hungry.
Right.
Like your praise out there should ignite something in me for me to, I can sing and I can help, but I shouldn't be trying to pump you up to serve God. What has God done for you? Sometimes all you got to do is like think back. Look back at what he's done before, and that should be enough to like trigger a praise.
Yes.
And it should just be like boom, 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 like a spark. So anyway, that's what it is for me. Yeah. God is so good.
Yeah, all the time. But it's spell out of it. So you still worthy of praise. Like you still worthy of God. Yeah.
Right.
So one of my mentees, speaking of my mentees, she's a sophomore in the South. She speak woman of God. Yes.
Hey, praise him. Yes.
So what's next for you? So you got your comedy shows coming up, or like virtual?
I've been doing a lot of virtual stuff. I really have, and I think it's so funny. I'm gonna just be real because you know that's the only way I know how to be. But I'm like, people always want to hit you. Well, for me, I don't know if this is everybody's experience, but people hitting me up talking about, oh, do this show for free and we'll give you exposure. Let me let you know something. I cannot pay my bills on exposure, okay? It's like I cannot call up the electric company and be like, you know what? Lavon is giving me $50 in exposure, so can I put this down on my electric bill today? They're gonna look at me like I'm crazy. And the funniest thing to me is fundraisers. That's another word that people try to throw out there. You know, oh, do this fundraiser. No, you put this fundraiser together. You had a budget for the food. You had a budget for the decorations. Have a budget together for your entertainment.
Right.
If you want entertainment, stop trying to always have people do stuff for free. There are times when the Spirit will talk to you, and when the people will be like, you know what, I'm good because God is telling me to help you out and to volunteer and to do this.
Right.
But this is how you know when somebody takes your business seriously or not, when they really value what you do. You know, they're not going to you're not going to go to Kevin Hart and be like, oh, I want you to come and just for the exposure. No, you're going to look at his contract. You're going to have his deposit money ready and stuff like that and already have it budgeted that's you're going to pay. So I just thought that was funny. Like, don't do that. Don't do that, people of God. Come on now. We got enough exposure. I'm good on exposure.
Right.
Have a budget when you call in. Like, come on, let's do better. When you know better, you do better.
That's right.
So I'm just letting everybody know that.
Right.
That was in my spirit. I don't know why I had to go there. Ain't that what preachers do?
Yeah,
I didn't know why I went there, but I just went there.
Right. So I was asking you, do you have any shows coming up that people would check you out? You know.
Well, I've been doing Zoom shows, a lot of Zoom shows.
Okay.
And this was my next thing that was coming up, so I'm really excited to be here. But everything that I'm doing, you can check me out on my website, which is KMack, KMack, Mack like the truck. KMack, cleancomedy.com. You can go directly to my website. You can see videos. You can see my updated schedule and everything that I'm doing. You can follow me on Facebook and on Instagram and on Twitter at KMack Clean Comedy. And do I have anything major coming up? I would say no. But here and there, I'm doing podcast shows as interviews. I'm doing awesome radio shows like this one. I'm doing hosting opportunities via Zoom. So I just was the host for Meals on Wheels for a fundraising event for them. So that was an awesome opportunity because not only did I get paid, but I got exposure at the same time, right? To a brand new audience that I would not have had the opportunity to be in front of if I was just in and out of different churches. So that was a great mutual opportunity. So just look out for me. My goal, family, is to get on the Jimmy Fallon show. So if you know anybody who knows Jimmy Fallon, just know that I'm trying to get on the show. Or whatever. All right. So and I just won 2019 Comedian of the Year. Thank you. Through Church Stars Network. So that's a wonderful organization. Shout out to Nicole Newman and shout out to all my family in the LOL GCA family. That's the Living on Laughter Gospel Comedy Association. So that's all my clean comedians. We're all a part of one organization. So I'm excited about that.
That's awesome. So Miss Katrina Mack, it's been a pleasure having you on my show. Hopefully I can see you in action soon. I'm going to talk to you offline.
Of course.
Yeah, because you inspire so many people just by your testimony of your faith in God, and just now you doing the work for God. Just be a comedian, entrepreneur, and an author, and also a mom too. That first your mom, your mother. So that's always important. So. Hope that we can bring you back soon, maybe do the comedy show for us,
Hey, come on.
Yeah, so,
I can do that.
Because I love comedy, I love to laugh. So, so one of the things I always wanted to do was a comedy show. So that's all I might do for next year. So.
It's a great fundraising opportunity. If anybody, if you trying to raise money for your church, I have people, we can put together a Zoom comedy show for y'all to help, raise funds or whatever you're trying to do. Just hit me up. And I have plenty of friends that I can help put together. Just let me know your budget and I can bring the comedians and we'll, do the show for you. So it's great. Whatever you need. Everybody, you have your own comedian in your pocket. Comedian KMack. You know me. We family now.
Right. Plus,
you know what I mean?
Plus, there's really time people need to laugh.
Yes.
It's always good to laugh. It's always good to laugh.
People are going through so much right now.
And you didn't laugh. It's not like that. Someone can laugh for 1 or 2 hours and not. That help them. That help them ease their fears.
Comedy is an important aspect because I heard somebody say, you listen to comedy and you'll know what's going on in the world.
That's true. Yep.
Comedy, you have to stay relevant to what's going on in the times and what the people are enduring. Right. So laugh, y'all, and be a blessing. Yes. I've always learned if you want a blessing, learn how to be a blessing.
And also want to add this last thing. Also, you have to give and put share with others. You give and shit make room for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So with that being said, follow KMack, Kadrina Mack on social media platforms that she just told y'all. Please support her work. Also, what she's doing. You're going to see her down the road in the Zoom shows. Go check our website out and see what she got going on. Because also, is a book on the website too?
The book is, you can purchase it on my website. Yes, that is correct. I don't have any physical copies yet. I'm waiting to receive them from Miss Tanya Lewis, which I've been waiting for a little while, but I wanted to give you yours. So again, as soon as I get it,
appreciate it. I will definitely read it.
I will give you one.
Yeah. So again, for those who are watching, thank you so much. Asia, thank you so much. My mentee. Hope you're doing well. Hope you enjoy this. And for those who are watching, go watch later on. Please watch it. Share the video. Post your comments, inspire questions. So because we do this for God and not for ourselves. We better share positivity. Share the good news, the good gospel, our truth, and our perspective. So with that being said, we'll see you on next Saturday for another great show. enjoy your Saturday, enjoy this race, brother.
Yes.
Be safe and wear your mask. Please wear your mask out here. No one's immune to the coronavirus, as you can tell. But for our leader, also the quarterback got diagnosed today, Cam Newton. So
what?
Yeah. So yeah. Saw him before I came. He got corona.
I did not know that.
So they actually postponed the game tomorrow, so I think Monday or Tuesday.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it's crazy. It's crazy out here. So that's why people wear their masks. Please, you never know. You don't know. So
wow.
Yeah. So we keep them in prayers. Keep our people in prayers. Each other in prayers. Even if we don't like them, please keep them in prayer. You know, people still dying from coronavirus and gun violence, all the things going on. Please keep people in prayer. You don't know what people are dealing with. So,
Amen.
So let's keep it in prayer. Let's have a good rest of the Saturday. Meditate on the good work of the Lord and walk by faith and not by sight.
Amen. Yay! Thank you, everybody.